Hey, where's everybody? Hey, there you are. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 35 of The Edge. Of course, we are all back, especially everyone. I got everyone. Yay. This is good.
You were all here last week.
I get to see all your smiling faces every week. It makes me so happy. My name is Sean Clark, aka Valise, in case you didn't know who I was. Running this little shindig of a podcast. And we got a lot to talk about this week, so I'm gonna get right to it. 6.0 obviously has come out. If you guys haven't played it yet, you definitely gotta check it out. It's definitely a lot going on there. We're gonna be talking about sim crafting because everyone's gonna be looking into that, especially at the start of new expansions, and really why you shouldn't look too much into it, and a bunch of WoW news and comment from us. But as always, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Matt Lowe. What's hanging, Matt?
We killed Paragons.
Yeah.
On Thursday.
Look at you.
Finally finished with like 13 out of 14.
Nice.
Tier, which respectable finish, I suppose, but not where I wanted to do. That's okay.
Are you going to push and try to get Garrosh done in the next 4
Yeah,
weeks? Or how?
I think we'll give it a shot. I mean, there's nothing else for us to really do for the next couple of weeks, so we may as well just get used to all the new stuff, all the new changes, all the new mechanics in a raid environment, and just get people used to the idea of having lesser buttons, having smaller health pools, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's the plan.
Cool.
I always have the plan.
Plans are good. What's up, Katie?
Not too much. I've
She's like, nothing.
now-
Skip me.
No, apparently I am now a resident expert on the Conrathad fight for Green Fire since I managed to crank that out in about a week and helped a lot of people on Twitter just because between when the fight was introduced and now there were a lot of changes made and a lot of people were using older strats that were a little convoluted, so I passed on words of wisdom and helped some people get their titles.
Awesome. That's always good. That's what we're here. It's what we do. Help people, talk to you, and hang out with you in case you're bored. Will. What's up, dude?
I'm going to be helping people even more so
true.
Next patch, or this next expansion. I am now the raid leader for my raid yet again.
Woo!
I have fallen into the trap.
You have my sincerest condolences, sir.
Let's do this, Matt.
Does it come with benefits?
If anything, you should be able to knock out your raid guide
have
videos
good
at the same
dental?
time. They have good
Dental, yeah.
Medical?
Yeah.
What about vacation days?
Comes with a bunch of whiners. No, they're great. They're great.
Shots fired.
They're not listening. They're not
Are you certified for childcare in your estate?
No, but I can herd cats because that's about what it is.
Jeez.
That's about what it is. I guess last week, that's sort of my major news, but last week we did kill Garrosh again. I rolled a 78 on the mount, which was third highest, so I was the first loser.
Congratulations.
So I did not get it. And then still doing the daily fishing thing for Nat Pagel, so about 8-9 days. And I also decided to grind even more grindy stuff and did the whole 10,000 dino bones thing to get that mount because I hadn't done that yet on the Dino Island. So yeah, got that
You
mount.
really are a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and those. Oh, by the way, minor news for that. Those dinosaur bones are now no longer BOP, so you
Oh
can
yeah,
sell
that's
them.
right.
Oh, yeah.
So
Just a little bit of information.
One less thing I have to hide in my bags
yep.
on my main. That bag space, man. That bag space.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
As for me,
Maybe.
per usual, I work my little buns off. So 55 hours I logged this week, with only one day off, and then it's going to look the same for next week. So my gaming, of course, is brought to a halt, but a lot of this is in preparation for BlizzCon, getting finances ready, getting schedules ready, getting everything I need prepared for everything I need to do there, which is seems like the list is growing every time I talk to someone. I find out
Pretty much.
different people are going. All of a sudden, so-and-so has tickets, and they didn't think they were going to go before, and I'm going to be up with them, and I'm super excited. It's right around the corner now, it's about 2.5 weeks
Less than a
away.
month.
Maybe like closer to 3 weeks now, about 3 weeks. So super, super, super excited. And I'm sure that once we get a little bit closer to BlizzCon, I know that we already kind of did like a BlizzCon type of coverage thing, but we'll probably do another one with the updated maps, our speculation on BlizzCon, things like that. So, because there's definitely...
Has it hit you yet?
What do you mean?
Has it hit you like that? It's gonna be in under a month. It hasn't hit me yet.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm so excited. Like,
I'm not there yet. I'm just like, oh, it's another day.
no, man,
It's
I'm so excited. I
Not
can't wait.
soon enough, too soon.
Because the thing is that like I've been working so much, like that's the big reason why I've been working as much as I have. So for me, it's very real. Like, you know, this is my motivation to keep on going. So,
I'm just waiting. I'm like, oh, it hasn't hit me yet. I know it's in under a month, but it hasn't hit me yet. What's going on?
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
mean,
looking forward to this yet.
the itch will be real, especially we get a little bit closer. But it's certainly very
Probably.
real for me right now. But 6.0 has officially launched. A lot of us have already checked it out. Of course, we've all been playing a little bit. I know we've done the Iron Invasion, just kind of checking that out. That doesn't take very long, maybe 30 minutes tops. And that's if you read a lot of the quest text, so it doesn't take very long.
It sets up the stage for the expansion.
It does.
Is what it's doing. It's just
Yep.
kind of a bridge, you know.
But we will have you covered here with at least the new changes. We've talked about it before, but we're going to mention them again because now these are pretty much like here it is. I mean, before it was, oh, things might change. They're going to probably tweak this or that. But as of now, which is the October 14th, these are the 6.0 changes.
It's set in stone, guys.
First up,
In stone.
oh man, I can't wait. Well, I mean, these are just changes, but still, I can't actually wait to dive into the whole rating thing because for me, that's in like an hour. And then next week we'll have some more like feedback and stuff about how we got either destroyed by the raid or how we destroyed it. But
Yeah,
aside
please
from
tell
that,
me.
yeah,
tell
aside
me.
from that, major changes. We'll just do a quick summary right now of what's going on. So new character models. This was one of the things that was hugely requested since ever, probably. I think.
Especially since Cataclysm.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know the goblins.
The
got new
goblins
models
look
and
really
organs,
good.
If you don't like the new models, if you're like that one person out there that doesn't like them, you can disable them in your options and you can bring back the old models. Second, stat changes. The stat squish is now here. You can solo old raids. You can actually solo queue for, I want to say Dragon Soul.
That's funny.
Yes, I think so. I think
Heroic or
so.
normal?
I think so. I think it's one of them. You can solo queue for an LFR or something like that. I don't remember, but
Yeah, the
Interesting.
legacy
It's in there
LFRs you
somewhere.
can solo queue for
Yeah.
them because otherwise there's no other way to get the gear. And I don't know
exactly.
about you, but you know that whole bag space crunch thing. I actually kept my LFR gear over my heroic rating gear because A, the color was better, and B, you couldn't get it anymore.
True that. Speaking of bags, the toy box is now here. You can actually stuff all your novelty items in there now, free up some much needed bag space. I'm pretty sure I freed up one bank bag and one like inventory bag. So that's great.
What
That's it?
achievement?
Oh, whoa. What do you mean, whoa? What do you mean that's it? Do you think I just collect all this? Like, what? What does that even mean?
What achievement level did you get? Because there's an achievement for 25, 50, and I think 100 toys.
Well, this ain't a competition, buddy.
No, I'm just saying. Where'd you get? I'm low.
Fif-
So
50-ish,
Yeah.
maybe. I haven't
I
gone through
got-
all of them yet.
I logged in with 25, but I can see the stuff in my bags that needs to go in, so
I will
we'll see.
have less than 10 because I could give a shit less about toys.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm a man. I don't play with toys. I play World of
Aw.
Warcraft.
Sean doesn't like that fun.
No.
ladies and gentlemen.
I like to camp
I'll
rare
be happy
mounts.
that I can finally play with my Super Simian Sphere that's been sitting on my Paladin that I retired at the end of Wrath of the Lich King because
Right, it's
she
available.
got it.
I was into like the toy idea until everyone, was always busting out the train set, and that just bothered me to the point where I was like, all right, I'm not gonna ever collect toys. Like I made it like a point to be like, no, I'm done. I'm never gonna do this because you ruined it for me.
In other changes, Reagent Bank is now here. A whole 100 gold to unlock it, so you can stuff all your professional reagents in there, and they all stack up to 200 now. Void storage size has increased. They added another tab, so try not to fill it up too quick. Give it some time. Other changes. What else we got here? Item changes. Reforging is gone. Hit is gone. Expertise is gone. Dodge, parry, all gone. Hit, I believe, now translates into crit, and expertise now translates into haste. Auction house changes. This is going to be great for all you auctioneer people out there that like to make a lot of money. All the auction houses on all factions have now merged. The black market auction house has also now moved to Draenor. In addition, I think it's still in Mist 2, I want to say. I haven't
For
actually.
now, it is until Draenor
Is
opens
it?
up. Yeah.
It's actually gone.
Actually, well,
Okay.
they closed it off,
Yeah.
but I don't know if they put it back in yet.
Oh, that's weird. All right. Currency, and lastly, currency changes, justice and valor, all gone. You can still buy most items, but like for gold and that sort of thing. Otherwise, I believe the currency exchange rate was 46 silver per justice or valor point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Who cashed in the most? Who got the most gold?
I got 800, so.
I got
1500.
1500.
Across all my tunes?
Oh no, that was just
Oh.
no.
I
God, I don't even
I
know.
plugged
Cap
into
price.
them.
Yeah, about 1600, 1500 gold for me. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I gotta
So-
check the alts.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want to do that.
We have all those classes. So just another few notes. All of those class changes that we've been talking about for the past few months, those are in. And of course, there's overview guides and other things in many variety of places. Guild levels, those are gone, but most of the perks are still there. And next, speaking of groups, the group finder, that whole raid browser thing that they did for a while, that's gone, but the much more improved group finder is there, and I really happy about that one. I think that feature alone is the most underrated feature of this whole thing, because get some people in there, get some people in groups, get people using it really well. So I'm hoping that
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
takes off.
It's phenomenal.
I mean, like how popular OQ was, and it was like a pain in the butt to get OQ set up in some senses.
I mean, it's a
Now
group
they
fun
make
for
it just
anything.
easier.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's great. Like it's exactly what the game needed. It's needed it for a long time.
Yeah. And in case you didn't know it, you should probably pop in and delete OQ because it's been entirely disabled because of this.
Yeah.
Because according to, I think it was lore, it was actually causing a lot of server stability crashing problems for players and the game overall, which is one of the reasons they did what they did with it.
Didn't know that.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Let's see. Siege of Orgrimmar. Siege of Orgrimmar is just handing out the heirlooms, just passing them out, going, "You want an heirloom? You want an heirloom? Here's an heirloom."
I want some heirlooms.
So get some heirlooms. Get that done. You're gonna need it. It's gonna be useful.
I know, but I'm lazy and I work too much. Remember that? Remember the
Yeah,
fact
you
that I
can.
live at my job, and then I come home on my night off and I do my podcast.
And
Because you love us?
You can't even do the next item. You can't even do Upper Blackrock Spire. You can't queue up for it, can you?
Mm-mm. No, I'm at 508 right now. My rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 10 item levels required to queue up for that. And
How-
it's actually just the first 3 bosses.
How does my warlock outgear you? How?
I'm gonna put this back in perspective.
He's working 55 hours.
I work
a
like
week.
55 hours a week. I have 3 jobs. Okay? I don't think you understand this. I'm a very busy guy.
I used to do that and still raid full time.
But this is the thing, coming into Warlords, I'm restricting some of my other jobs and putting raiding as a priority again, because I've gotten away from it a little bit too much, more than I'd like. So I'm making it, a priority again. I'm kind of, I had to get away from it for a little bit because it was like ruining my life, and now that my life's good again, like I can go back into raiding to ruin it again. So it's a vicious cycle. You know how it goes. In case you haven't done it yet, which I know we mentioned it earlier, the Blasted Lands quests have now started. It's a phased zone, so you can still do the zone if you're leveling up with some of the alts if you want to try out some of the new classes and see all the new changes. But the Iron Horde invasion is now here, which is pretty cool to check out all of the immediate changes of what the Iron Horde is going to be all about. So especially if you haven't had access to the beta, this is a good way to go and check that out. It's pretty quick, takes about 30 minutes total if you read the quest text, which I did because I am going to make a conscious effort to try and read more quest text, because from someone, I never used to read it, but now as someone that tries to do quality created content, I kind of have a lot more respect for the guys who did a lot of the writing and the lore and all this stuff. So I'm going to make a very conscious effort to do better about reading it. The new login screen is here. It looks phenomenal. Matches the Dark Portal and the Blasted Lands as well, which is so cool. A lot of colors. Looks very vibrant but dark at the same time. Great color scheme.
Music.
Yeah, it's all good. So that's definitely really cool. Arena skirmishes are staying in the game. Holinka has been badgered on keeping those in, so he decided to keep them in for the people that really enjoy doing them. So you'll still be able to continue doing those in 6.0 and beyond, at least for the time being. UI improvements have been put in as well. The raid and battleground specific graphical settings have been changed. For me, actually, I just downloaded a different UI. I used to use LUI quite a bit. I'm not sure what you guys use. I know a lot of people use Evil UI, but I downloaded I don't even know what it was. I can't remember what it was called. I just installed it and did the intro quest. It was called like, what's that called? It's called something. I can look right now because I still have my thing up. I don't know. I'll get to it in a second, but there's a whole bunch of different like UIs. You got to figure like all your add-ons are going to be outdated. So go into Curse.
That's rough right there.
Yeah, and go in and double
Never
check
mind.
it all. So because that's something this is the pain of the new patches. I mean, because some of the stuff you absolutely love, which some of them don't get updated right away. Some of them do. I love WoW Instant Messenger for some reason. Like that's like my thing. I have to have it. If I don't have it, it drives me insane. So, and it was updated today. I couldn't believe it. Normally they never update it right away, and the guys who make that have been right on top of it, so that's really cool. And some other little aesthetically pleasing things. The couple areas in the vanilla parts of WoW, like in Red Ridge and Elwyn Forest, are now actually dark at night, which is pretty cool. So to go check those out again, leveling different alts, and if you actually do that, us poor people that level alts and don't just pay for free 90s. I say free 90s loosely. Inexperienced 90s. I guess it's better to say. So
I might be that guy, but
Yeah, I don't know. The Darker Nights is something I never noticed, but it also might be because I was running on an Australian schedule for a long time, so it was daytime for me when it was nighttime, and I appreciated that.
that's true. I guess you wouldn't really. That's a little bit weird. It's like that bad Jeopardy story, but we won't talk about that unless you guys saw that in the news.
Bad Jeopardy?
Is this guy told is like dubbed the worst Jeopardy. Like in Jeopardy they give like a little background story, like introduce the people, and this dude gave like the very worst one in like the history of Jeopardy. But it reminds me of, it has a lot to do with like day and night, because the dude was in a bus that was tinted. He looked up and he thought it was the moon, but it was the sun because he's an idiot. Okay, but that's terrible. It's a terrible story.
Ooh.
But it reminds me a lot of this because you kind of just made me think of it. Anyways, sorry.
My bad.
Some ramble about dumb Jeopardy things.
whoosh.
So
with the 6.0 changes, old world dungeons have gotten a few revamps. This includes Black Fathom Deeps, Razorfen Downs, and Razorfen Crawl. I don't know. Do you guys have hunters? Do you do huntery things? I tried to bust out a level
Seriously?
26 hunter. Yeah,
I have
in
an
2 hours,
86.
so I could go get the boar, and then didn't get it.
I gotta like watch paint dry and watch grass grow, and I don't have time to level 100. Just got
It's
other
the
things to
last
do.
thing I haven't. I honestly, after starting one, I recommend going and doing it, but you may hate every other character in the game afterwards because they're broken. Hunters should not be allowed.
What?
that's what I
Not. What?
You are gonna love hunters when it comes to raiding. Aspect of the fox, done.
Uh-huh. See, that's
Enjoy
why I have
casting.
hunters for friends.
Yeah.
I have them as
okay.
friends.
All right, just show some
Matt
love.
does not
show some
care
love.
at all.
I appreciate the fact that they get to do all the really terrible stuff because they're hunters and they're broken. And if they don't do the terrible stuff,
Yeah.
Matt still
Weird
doesn't
hunters.
care at all. He's like, so what are we even talking about now, guys?
I don't know. Revamps.
We still talking about
The
hunters?
spirit boar, maybe. Yes, a little bit. No, what we're going to be talking about is, hunters that maybe you've deleted in the past. You can say hello again. So any character above level 50, you can undelete at any given time. Player characters below level 50 have varying restrictions between 30 and 90 days, I believe.
Yeah, there's
With the
different
exception of
restrictions,
Starter Zone Death Knights.
yeah. Right.
Let's see. Other things that, Australians may notice more than we do would be server responsiveness improvements. Because of the new processes that are using, this is part of the cast system that was updated from the antiquated Mopac that WoW is built off of, and it cuts server responsive time between 200 and 400 ms. So that's 2 to 4 tenths of a second, which sounds very little, but it can be kind of game breaking. So I'm looking forward to playing that with more and getting actually used to it, because live has felt slow.
No, beta
since I've been
definitely
playing on
felt
beta.
different. It felt very smooth. So
Yep.
and that's something that you guys will notice too, and all of the new people. I can't really say new people, but all of the people that may have just resubbed.
Returning players.
Yeah, there seems to be lots of those.
Yeah. Okay.
To bring into the tune of 600,000. So that brings WoW back up to 7.4 million subs.
Yes, and that
And
Ball's
I'm
coming,
wondering
guys,
how
ball's
many logged in for the Horde Chopper. The Warlord's Death Wheel has arrived, and to the chagrin of the Alliance, Polly and the Alliance Chopper have not yet made an appearance. So it looks like the Horde get to revel in their glory for at least a month.
And that information actually just came out almost right before we went live, and that was sourced out of Wowhead. So
Cool.
good on them for checking that out.
Gotcha.
Just in the same day. I mean, it's like, my goodness, they're right on top of that stuff. So that's some really interesting numbers and kind of interesting foreshadowing what's going to happen when Warlords hits. So
8 million. We're going over 8 million.
oh yeah, we'll be over 8 again. Absolutely.
Yeah, and with the new patch, the basic WoW package has been updated to include Mists of Pandaria, so you're up to date for a cool $20, and that's pretty amazing, because usually it takes Blizzard a while to throw the previous expansion into the game to maybe eke out a few more purchases here and there. So they're really trying to encourage people that have maybe never picked up WoW, even though they've had a decade to do so, and not feel like it's like you're buying a car.
I never really thought about it, but can you imagine like being younger than you are now, but kind of like maybe just coming into like the MMO style where you're maybe like 12 or 13 and you're kind of really like getting into it, but WoW's already been around for like 10 years. Like we see it from the beginning, or at least from Wrath or whatever. I mean, like, it's a whole different mindset. I mean, think about it, like all the things you've missed out on, like all the experiences and all of the like, it's just totally, it's going to be a whole different point of view, Like, I wonder if it means the same to them as, obviously it doesn't mean the same to them as it does to us, but I mean, like, coming into it, I wonder what the mindset is, because a lot of younger people nowadays like the quick games, they like the mobile games, so I wonder if it is too daunting for new people. It's just something to think about. I never really thought about it from the other way before, the other side.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I even had for some reason, my kids, which are 8 and 11, they all of a sudden are like, oh, we want to play WoW, we want to play WoW. I'm like, okay. So I've got them logged in, playing on my account, and leveling up Paladin and a Hunter, I think they chose. And they're 8 and 11, and they're like sort of figuring out how to do quests and stuff. And
It's
like
very
one of
sneaky,
them,
Will.
what?
Very sneaky setup you got there, Will. You
I
got
saw that.
You got them farming some gold for you on the side. And some,
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I'm on to you, man. I'm on to
Listen,
you.
kids, you need to farm this for me.
Okay, well, all right, I will admit one thing.
Here
One
it
of
comes.
them,
Just one.
the younger one, actually likes to do the Dark Moon dailies, the Dark Moon Fair dailies, because they're kind of fun little game things.
And it begins.
He will do that every day of that week. He'll be like, hey, Dad, can I do the Dark Moon dailies? Can I do the Dark Moon dailies?
That's so
Okay, and I don't really actually need any of the stuff at this point, but, sure, whatever. Give
I
me some
hope you're paying
gold,
them well.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's
food and
it's-
shelter.
Dude, you gotta give it like some kind of like bonus effects. Like, if you can, like, for me, I was like, dude, if you can find me, whoever finds me time lost first is going to get $100.
Throw them like
Well,
Lunchables.
No, $100.
Lunchables.
Lunchables.
I'm gonna say that on the air. I mean,
Back in my day, we had Dunkaroos. I'm gonna get you a whole tub of frosting, Dunkaroos frosting.
Yeah.
Dude, I would have done anything for a tub of Dunkaroos frosting when I was like 11.
I don't even
That's
know
gross,
what
man.
that is.
I also would have done anything for
It's-
one of the guts trophies, the big part of the mountain.
What?
Oh yeah.
You remember that? You remember the show Guts on Nickelodeon? It's like the little sports thing. They had to like climb the mountain and like do stuff.
it's the most random tangent I think we've ever made.
No, I'm just saying.
about
But the point is, like, I would do anything
Temple?
for it.
He would do anything. All right, all
That's
right.
dating me a little bit.
That went over my head.
I'll show you guys when we're done.
Okay,
Alright.
okay. Moving on. There's no way I can segue from that.
No, dude, sorry.
Well,
Continuing on with the
you
news.
could just crack the whip and tell us to pipe down.
Yeah, right.
Boom, here we go. So, other things you'll notice logging into 6.0. Player health has been doubled while healing's received a 50% boost. So, farewell to the idea of always being 100%. And now it's that triage thing that we talked a couple shows ago about the whole triage. You're not going to always have your health. And some fun items. We talked about item squish and the stat changes and all that stuff earlier. There's some cool stuff for tanks temporarily, maybe. You can get some old items from TBC, like the Badge of Tenacity, Lead and Despair from Stonecore. And it gives you like a crap ton of bonus armor, which is far surpassing what you can get in MoP. And there's even some like enchants that are better for the Kata version than the MoP version. It's granting you more stats. But Watcher has already confirmed that they're going to probably make a pass on fixing some of that stuff up as people are identifying it. So don't go like dropping 3k on some enchant that gives you one more bonus armor than something else. But yeah, that was kind of fun. It'll be fun for a day, basically.
Yay.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, like remember the Ret Paladin bug in Dragon Soul, where they were stacking Seal of Truth or something, and it like was one-shotting. What boss was it? They were like killing. What was the one where you had to like? It was the dragon sitting there in Dragon Soul. Come on, someone save me.
The dragon.
The dragon in Dragon Soul that was like real easy. You had to press the button and or else you die.
Traxian. Yeah, the Twilight one.
Yeah, so they were having like 2 Ret Paladins go in there and solo it back in Dragon Soul because there was some bug that made them do like 1,000,000 DPS or something ridiculous. It's like one of those fun little tricks.
I don't remember because Ret Paladins were ass.
Yeah.
So it's like no one used them.
Like...
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, bring a Ret Paladin and fucking do like 9k DPS.
Yep.
But Devo Aura, that's why you bring Ret Paladins, extra Devo. But they don't get that anymore,
get that.
so,
Nope.
R.I.P. Ret Paladins. I don't know, did you guys see the new Black Hand comic? The storyline was written by Robert Brooks, which is the guy that brought us the Gromish story from a few weeks ago, which was pretty damn good. I don't know.
I did not see it.
It's shiny.
Is it worth me reading?
Yes. I highly recommend.
Then I will read it.
I mean, seriously though, Blackhand, he's the Black Rock Clan.
No, I mean, I get that he's a cool character. I haven't had time to read it, but I will. Maybe I'll read it tonight. Yay. Little bedtime story for bed. Another big thing that happened over the past couple of days, actually this was 2 days ago, my second favorite podcast, and it's my second, this being my first, obviously. Obviously. Good old Convert to Raid had 2 very special guests on their podcast 2 days ago, which was Watcher and Halinka. They basically dove into the upcoming changes. They're going to be talking about they talked about a lot about PvP and PvE, obviously. They talked about the live raid at BlizzCon. They talked about just a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, it's definitely worth a listen if you guys have some time. Generally, their podcast runs about an hour and a half, but when they have them on, usually runs a little bit longer, so about 2 hours-ish. So it is quite a long thing, but there's some really great information in there, talking about just everything from BlizzCon to why that they decided to put the main areas next to PvP zones, but how if you don't want a PvP, it's basically going to come up kind of like in Wintergrasp, like when you're about to fly over, it's like, hey, you're entering a PvP zone, like do you really want to enter this? And they you can either click OK or just leave. So it's just really cool, just for little detaily stuff if you're really excited about Warlords and you want to get a little bit more of from the mouth of Blizzard HQ. They're definitely worth checking out. You can check them out at converttoraid.com. So there you go.
Yeah, it's been it was a good listen. I actually am not gonna lie, I listened to it twice.
No, it's good. There's a
That's
lot
how
of
good it
information.
was. One thing I did want to mention earlier, because if we were talking about that login music for the that new login screen. The score for the upcoming Warcraft movie is going to be done by Stephen Warbeck. He is a Oscar-winning composer, most known for Shakespeare in Love, but I the guy's IMDb list is just kind of astounding. Great guy. It's awesome that we're getting somebody so talented, but it's also kind of weird to think that Russell Brower, which is, if you guys don't know, one of the geniuses behind the music of Warcraft itself, which I'm intensely in love with. I appreciate it a lot as an audiophile. I won't be doing the Warcraft movie music, but I don't know. It'll be interesting because game music is so different than movie music that that might not be either his area of expertise, or chances are, because Blizzard's already working on another expansion, I'm sure Brower's got his hands full.
Yeah, that's what I put my money on, actually. He's probably got a couple more projects lined up. You know.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some big news at BlizzCon this year.
BlizzCon
Yeah.
spoilers.
That
Let's-
2 hour mystery gap.
Let's sit on that, because that's gonna be some good discussion. We'll have to save that for another time. Lastly, final 2 more bits of news. PvP, base resilience, and battle fatigue gone. CC crowd control, that's been reduced, and many other effects have been grouped together for DR, diminishing returns. Share diminishing returns. So
Yeah,
it's-
tooltips were updated to specify which kind of CC shares a DR, so it's
Right.
been clarified a lot for people.
I'm not going to go into it here because we only have so much time, but I'm sure if you look around, I'll have the links up on the news post afterwards, pointing to which crowd control spells and effects belong to whatever category it is.
Right.
Speaking of PvP, WoW Arenas will be back at BlizzCon this year. The winning teams from the North American Regionals held last week, I think it was. Was it last week?
Yeah, last weekend.
October 5th, yeah. October 5th, the Three Amigos, the Death Innovators, and Penny for Your Thoughts. Penny for Your Thoughts is especially notable because they defeated the reigning champions of 2013, Skillcast.
What's really interesting to know here too is that if you went and saw the arena fights last year, if you're in person or watched on DirecTV, you notice that they were taking forever. Like there was like, oh my god, just hurting to end this already.
Yes.
But now they're going to start doing basically kind of like the healing is going to be reduced.
Dampening.
The dampening is a big factor now. They and that's something actually on the Convert to Raid podcast that they had talked about, was how they want the arena matches to end with kills. They don't want it to drag on for like 25 30 minutes for like one match. Like, it's crazy, man. Like we ain't got time for that. So
I totally agree with that change too. 'Cause I mean, that's what burnt me out on arenas. I know I'm no longer a PvP guy because of kind of stuff like that.
yeah, it's terrible.
It's like, here's a holy paladin and a death knight. Let's have a 45-minute match.
Yeah, exactly.
And no one died.
You don't even need that. All you needed back then was a blood DK, and nothing could heal himself constantly. I mean, you could 2v1 you and be fine.
Speaking of other things that bother you, Will.
Yes. So here we go. And the reason so this is basically just a small little rant of mine on SimCraft numbers. So basically, and the reason I brought this up was I keep getting these questions from people, and I mean, I'm not really a known guy for theory crafting or everything else, but people are coming to me going, I gotta switch to this spec, or I gotta do this, and did you see these numbers? And I'm just like getting tired of people freaking out about it. So here we go. So if you don't know, simulationcraft.org puts out a tool called SimCraft, and you can plug in your gear, reforges, all this stuff, and give you like a theoretical max DPS for all of these variables and whatnot. And if you know how to use it, it's a pretty great way to take your trinkets and change out your weapons or your talents and see if you'll get a DPS boost, or sometimes the healing, they do some of that too, but it's really about DPS and figuring out what you want to do. And this is basically a tool that's a simulation, hence the name, and it's a simulation of the combat mechanics done by non-Blizzard people. These are volunteers, and they certainly deserve to be commended for the work they do. Awesome tools, and people base their stuff on SimCraft, and it's like really, really a great effort. But they basically theory craft. They ask Blizzard questions. They refine stuff, and it's a great freaking tool. But so given all that, they put out numbers every tier or so that say this is a list of all the DPS classes. Here's our simulations, and this is where we think people are ranked. So like right now, the best in slot, if you got best in slot gear on a feral druid doing an absolute perfect rotation, they should conceivably be on top of your raid DPS with 539k. This is of course pre today. That'll be changed quite a bit today.
It's like a druid.
Yeah. And I don't know, have you guys seen a feral druid doing that great?
I mean, I've seen some running around, but I mean, they're doing the regular quests, so I mean, it was kind of like. You know.
I can't remember the last time I raided with a feral druid. Like our bear tank does once in a while, but it's her off spec, so
Yeah.
You know, the expectation is like, you're our tank. We don't care what you do over there. So.
Yeah. Matt, do you have a feral druid in your raid, like a DPS one?
Sort of.
Okay.
Not really. I mean, like, just inconsistent. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. You know, like one of those situations, right? So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we don't even have one in our group either. But like our consistent top performers seem to be warlocks and mages and whatnot. So.
And warriors.
Warriors.
And rogues.
Yeah. No, not rogues. No.
I was just trying to sneak that in there just to feel good about myself.
Yeah, we caught that. We just basically shot that down. Now. We're trying to be an accurate podcast here, buddy.
Listen, I can be biased if I want. Damn it.
Ours. So anyway, they put these numbers and they give you the ranks and they show you like this is theoretically what people should be doing, and this is all based on a simulation on the best possible circumstances. So best in slot gear, trinkets, perfect rotation, yada yada yada, and like a patchwork style boss. You're just standing still DPSing. So that's what these numbers are. Obviously raid bosses are an entirely different beast. I mean, can you sit there and do your rotation on Siegecrafter? No, you're moving for everything that's shooting at you. Fire, blades, mines. Oh my god. Yeah, that's why I brought that one up. Figured that would bring some groans. So these are all great numbers, and we can be pretty confident that if you just sat there and had all the buffs and everything and you sat at a raid dummy, you would hit close to these numbers if you were doing everything right. But people right now, they put out some numbers for not only like 6.0, like they took the PTR, they plugged in the numbers and whatnot and put out some numbers for current tier 16. This is what you should be doing, you know, number wise. And then they also did it for, here's what we think with best in slot tier 17, so Warlords of Draenor gear, this is what you should all be doing. But at the top, there's this huge freaking note that says, this is beta, beta, beta. And it lists out all these things that they haven't yet simulated. So they don't have some of the trinkets, some of the best in slot things are right. Some of the
tier bonuses.
Some of the classes aren't even fully implemented. So the whole thing is beta. And not to mention, this is a whole volunteer work, and so it may not be 100% accurate and all that kind of stuff. And even Blizzard came out and said they don't balance. Yeah, I mean, it's just not accurate. And Blizzard said like they don't balance around a patchwork scenario. They assume some movement, some downtime, some things you got to respond to. So the whole moral of this rant here is, no, you don't have to play a marksman hunter because that's the best spec based off of that list. No, you don't have to re-roll to a one-handed fury warrior. Just chill out. Let the people who work on this stuff continue to refine it. Let's see what comes out of actually playing the game. Let's go play the game. Let's get good at our specs and see what you got today, and it'll be all okay. Play what you like. Do what you like.
This new one's a little daunting because the fire mage is on top. That makes me scared.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing too: is that a lot of people are going to be going right out and they're going to be hitting the raid dummy, all the ones that are around Azeroth right now, and a lot of people don't realize is that these aren't tuned to level 93 raid test dummies anymore. They're 103.
Yep.
So they're like, why am I missing, guys? I don't understand this. Guys, I'm the best raider in my group.
Yeah, and
I
that's
keep
something to
missing.
keep in mind too, is that like the tuning that we're going through right now, it's not geared for Siege of Orgrimmar. It's not
Right.
geared for level
Right.
90. Like the factors that go into this are for talents that and abilities that we just don't have. So for those that are, putting baby in a corner because they're not performing when they were last night, you got to put things into perspective. We're gearing up for the new stuff.
Yep. So
Yeah.
it's something to keep in mind. So
100.
don't take simcrafting too seriously yet.
Yeah. It's a tool, and you can use it well later.
But if you use it too much, you'll be a tool.
Oh.
Ho, ho, ho.
I did it.
There, I kind of see it. A
I
little
did
bit.
it, and that's a good way to end, I guess. Matt, shout out so I know you gotta go raid. Let's get your raiding.
No shout outs for me.
Matt is just,
I know. I'm just full of non-shout outiness.
God, I don't even know what to say. Will, I'm gonna go with you next. I never go with you second.
Sweet. I'm gonna shout out to my new raid team.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for electing me your
Oh,
overlord.
you got elected.
No, actually.
Oh my God, they had a vote.
Oh
I
God,
know.
are we shaking hands and kissing babies?
Were you
now,
against
or-
like no one and a ferret? Like, so you're just like, I get it automatically.
No, actually, the GM was like, "Well, the old raid leader doesn't want to do it because he was filling in for me. Basically, they're filling in for their GM because the GM burnt out, and so this guy's filling in for the end of Siege. And the guy's like, "No, I don't want to do this in Warlords." They were like, "Well, you know the fights because you were on beta and you did all these raid guides and video guides. You know the
Mhm.
strategies.
GM's up?
Okay, there you go." No, GM doesn't want to do it either. So
Wow.
That's not good.
here you go.
That bodes so well.
I mean, I've done it before, so it's like, no big deal, and I know this group, and it'll be fine. But anyway, here I am, your new raid leader.
Yay. Even though it can be super frustrating, it can also be really rewarding as
Yeah.
well. So you
Yeah.
guys gotta look past the anger. Look at Matt just over there. He's just
7
disapproving.
years. Where's this reward that people keep talking about? 7 years, man.
It's there.
It's a frustration.
It's there. Wait till you see
Someone-
wait till you go to BlizzCon and the raiders that you raid with that little glimmer in their eye, like, oh, there he is, guys. Oh my God.
Someone in the chat wants a shout out. Bosmapar wants a shout out.
Oh, that's one of my shadow priests. Okay, I'll do a shout out for you. Shout out to
There you
Boss for being a more superior shadow priest than I am, which isn't really saying much. I do suck at shadow, actually.
What did we tell you about looking at those sim crafts? Leave the shadow priest alone. I don't know.
Katie? You got anything?
I'm gonna give a preemptive shout out to my guild leadership tonight because they have to fix all of our spreadsheets for cooldowns and stuff, and that is a chore.
Oh,
and
no.
I appreciate them.
You just ruined Matt's night.
I'm sorry.
I'd like a shout out to all the caffeine Matt's gonna have to drink to update all that crap that no one wants to do.
This podcast sponsored by. This could be you.
This could be you. Yeah. This is sponsored by audible.com. Get your free book. Okay. I can't say that because I'm not sponsored by them.
No, you can't. You can't see that.
No.
Am I-
We'll just have
you-
we'll just delete that later.
yeah, I'll just go and be like,
It was sponsored by potato.com.
yeah. That's what I've said.
I hope that's not a porn site.
Christ.
I want to look now.
Ah. Okay, anyways, I don't have any shouts really either because I'm just too damn busy with my life. Shout out to actually all the people I'm going to see at BlizzCon because that's why I'm working so hard. So for 2 of you that I'm talking to, I'll see you there. Will, you... I don't know.
No.
Potato.com is for sale, but
Yep.
you can learn how to make a potato gun and easy loaded potato soup.
And that does it for this week's episode. We will see you guys next Tuesday, hopefully with a lot more information on 6.0 changes and stuff they're going to be fixing, and Matt won't be dying of some kind of aneurysm, and Katie won't be talking about potatoes, and Will still has hair because he hasn't really started raid leading yet, so we'll see how these stories develop. Until next week, guys, we're out. Peace.